Hi, Michaela.
Hello.
Welcome to Clout Nine.
I'm so excited.
I know, I'm so excited to have you. You're one of my first few guests.
No, what is it going to be a year from now? I'm so excited. This is the very beginning.
This is the very
Just
beginning.
the beginning, Alex.
Yes. So, Michaela is a screenwriter, a singer, and an actor, most notably known as Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That is me.
She also got a screenwriting and theater degree from Yale.
Correct.
That is so badass.
Thanks.
First of all, I have to fangirl real quick. Big Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. Like, this is so cool.
Well, I'm so glad to be here. It's been very surreal because, you know, the show is celebrating its 20th year this year. So I feel old, but also feel young. I don't know. It's very confusing when you did something in middle school and then you get recognition for it when you're in your 30s. So I don't know. It's crazy. We're rolling with it. It's very cool.
Wait, so how old were you when you voiced Toph?
I was 12 in season 2 and 13 in season 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was only 2 seasons that you were in?
Because
It
I
felt
came
like
in.
all of them.
I know. Well, that's the writing is so good. Mike and Brian are brilliant. Each episode, I forget how full each episode is because by the end, I'm like, dang, a lot happened. But it's only 3 seasons. It's 61 episodes, the whole show.
61 episodes?
61 20-minute episodes.
Wow. And I'm one of the people that rewatched it during COVID. Because, and you know what's awesome about that show? It really holds up. It's still so funny.
It's so funny, and it's unfortunate how it's still so tangible. Like the issues that arise, and it's like the social and like conflict. It's like, why is this still a problem? Why is this still relatable in this fine, you know, present time where we should have answers that we shouldn't be struggling like this anymore. And yet there's always something to learn from Avatar.
Here we are.
For better or for worse.
You always learn something and you're laughing at the same time.
I know.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I'm very grateful. I've been a part of some really cool projects, and Avatar is definitely up there.
How was voicing Toph at such a young age?
Chill. This was before iPhones existed. This was before social media. There weren't subreddit pages, you know, just breaking down every single thing that people do. Like, it just was such a different environment. It was very much oh, cool, I booked a lead role, which is something that I would been working towards for a while because I mostly did like a lot of background voices for many years. And then I started booking like title roles. And I was like, yay, okay, I have like a name now. Like I'm actually somebody's daughter or somebody's kid, whatever. And with Toph, it was like, cool, I'm a main character in the show. Yeah. Awesome. So that was the win. It wasn't this like recognition where we were like, oh, we're making magic. We're about to, you know, make one of the greatest TV. That's like not what it was at all. It was like, whoa, this beautiful show about like balance and harmony and elements and like finding your own inner peace before you can help others. Like all these big concepts just casually on Nickelodeon. But I mean, at the time too, like Dante and Greg say this a lot. They're like, oh, like this isn't gonna be popular. Like this is too cool. Like this is too deep of a show for like the masses to appreciate or whatever. And I think that's, you know, clearly they were wrong. Clearly the masses do very much appreciate the depth. So at the time I was just in middle school living my best life being like, great, I booked a lead character. Cool. And I also thought at the time I wanted to be a heart surgeon. So that's why Yale even was a thing because I was pre-med for a while. And so I was like, oh, I got a lead role. Cool. Well, I'm going to have to stop acting soon and focus on school anyway. So great. I made it here. I can check that off the list. All right. Like moving on to the next thing.
Wow.
So yeah, different time, different place.
You wanted to be a heart surgeon.
Yes.
Why did you want to be a heart surgeon and how did you transfer into voice acting?
Well, yeah. So my mom and I are from the Midwest. We're from southern Indiana, about 20 minutes north of Louisville, Kentucky, for those of you who are familiar. And she always wanted to live in LA. She liked the opportunity. She liked sunshine. She was like, I want to go there. And things in life, you know, life happens. It gets in the way. And then I had me. That's English. And then she had me. And finally, I guess I helped kind of light the final fire because she's like, I can't let my kid grow up here. Like I was super creative and like loved to sing, loved to dance. I loved fashion. I just had so much energy. And she was like, if I raise my kid here in this tiny little town, I don't think it's going to go well. I need to go. And so we just went across the country to U-Haul in 1999. Woo! Mom and me. And came to LA. And at the time, I don't know, just a natural kind of LA thing, I guess. Some friends of mine at school were in a commercial. And I was like, that seems fun. I really wanted to make money and like be an adult as much as I could be as a kid.
How old were you?
I was 4 or 5 years old.
And you knew this already so young?
And I was like, how can I have a job? I was like, I want to get a job. And my mom was like, She's like, you're
Be a
fine.
kid.
There's no time for that. Things are expensive in LA. Anyway, so I thought I was going to be like a bag lady at the grocery store. So I went to Ralph's and I was like, hello, I'd like to be a bag lady. And they're like, you're 5. You have to be 14. And I was like, 14? That's too long. And I can't wait that long. So friends of mine were in like a commercial and I was like, oh, could I do that? And my mom was like, I don't know, maybe. And I was like, no, I'm serious. Like, I think I want to do the acting thing. And she was like, okay, we'll see. So she put me in some local theater. I loved it. We got some headshots made. And then, so we like to plan things out a lot. My mom is very big planner. She's like 1, 5, 10, 20-year plans. Maybe a little intense, but hey, it gives you kind of a direction. And so at the time I was like, cool, this acting thing. And then when I get to 14, I'm going to stop acting cold and focus purely on pre-med.
And
to be
work at a
cardiovascular
grocery
surgeon.
store as a bag girl.
Well, I didn't need that anymore because I already had the other job. So
We're ahead of that now.
yeah, we're
Pass
ahead of
it.
that now. But yeah, the surgery thing, I don't know. My grandfather had like a quadruple bypass surgery when I was like 6 or 7. And I was like, oh my gosh, next time I can be the one to fix grandpa. Like
At
I'll
age 14.
At age 14, obviously. Yeah. So just in my head, I was like, oh, like I could do that. And my mom, of course, was like, ooh, good idea. Medicine, smart. Yes, that's more reliable. I'm going to support that idea. Yeah. And then I changed my mind when I got to college. Obviously, my major is in screenwriting and theater, so things changed. But
Wow.
yeah. Lots of planning and just intense energy that my mom decided to be like, oh, okay, sure. And she entertained and then supported me. So
That's
here we are.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you wish you would have been a heart surgeon?
No. One of the biggest things that kind of got in the way of that too is that when I got to college, they of course put a lot of pre-med people in the same dorm, which makes sense. But I was very intimidated. Everybody else was very, very smart. And to the point of like they would get like an A- on something and be upset because it was an A-. And I was like, oh, we're not the same. I was like, oh, okay, I don't know how well I'm going to do here. But it's also, you know, we're in America. It's a lot of Western medicine, a lot of pharmaceutical stuff. And that is not how me and my mom roll at all. It's not how I roll. I'm very much like, hey, let's figure out the root of the issue. Let's figure out diet. Let's figure out environment. Let's figure out the people you're hanging out with. Let's figure out the water you're drinking. Like, I want to get to those things. I don't just want to like slap an antibiotic on something.
And like cut you up or something like that.
Like
Yeah.
I just don't roll like that. And so I think eventually it would have probably been an issue of just personal ethics on just like how the American hospital system works versus how like an Eastern medicine practice place works. And so there's still a little tingle in the back of my mind that maybe one day I can go study somewhere, maybe do some like herbal research and just figure out kind of the hippy dippy like Eastern medicine way.
The hippie side of it all.
Yeah, like black sesame seed oil and like all these little things that like help, because that's always helped for me. So I don't know. So I think at some point it wouldn't have worked, but I loved the surgery idea, the practice of like
Yes.
opening someone up, fixing what's wrong, putting them back together, sending them out into the world. That part we love. That part I absolutely am like, that'd be so cool. But everything else, there's so much politics, hospital politics, all these metrics and insurance. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
So then when did you switch over to doing screenwriting and acting?
Yeah, I guess switch back to it because technically
switch back,
Yeah, because I
technically.
kind of like did it.
You're like, acting, heart surgery, we're going to go back
Yeah,
to screenwriting
we're-
acting at Yale. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was very cool. I was lost for a while. College was rough. College was not fun. I mean, it was fun, but like, I'm glad it's over. It was very intense. I think you just get hit with a lot of reality. It's a lot of socioeconomic
Trying to figure out what you want to
divides.
do if you don't know.
Yeah, and especially at like an Ivy League, there's just a lot of like exposure to things that I didn't even know existed and were real until I got. They're just like old money things, and you're like,
okay.
oh, whoa, we're in such a different league.
Like, that's not just in a movie, that's real life.
no, that's real life. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, got it.
Anything specific?
People, many families had like their private jets that they would take over the weekend to go to Paris, or, they would be at their family's apartment along Central Park West for the parade every year, that they've had the apartment in their family for, centuries. And it's just like things that just like people had and just did. And I was like, oh,
That's not normal.
okay. It's like, got it. Okay. I think just West Coast and East Coast money, which is very different.
So different.
Very different. So just a lot of that. And I thought like, oh, I'm smart. I'm successful. I like have this kind of career I've made for myself. And then I like went east and then I went east and I was like, this isn't anything. Like, I'm literally nothing in comparison. Like, I've done some cool things, but like the history runs so deep with some of these things, especially on campus too. If you've heard of like the secret societies and stuff like that, like some of that stuff also runs so deep. And so I was just like, there's like a gravity to the history here that I have not been exposed to yet, because the West Coast is so new. It's Hollywood, it's the Wild West, it's the gold rush. Like, it's still relatively new in history. LA as like a concept really only, I mean, maybe the 1890s, kind of Los Angeles started to form, but not really. Like, film mostly started in like, I don't know, 50s?
Something like that,
40s, 50s. We're not old here.
It's new.
East Coast, it's old. It's been there. So it just, lots of things like that hit. And so it was just kind of tough. So sophomore year, I took an intro to screenwriting course. And I liked it. And so then I took another one. And then I just took another one. And then I got to a point, they're like, you have to major in this. You've taken like 4 classes. In order to take the next one, you have to be major. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll be double majoring then. Because at that point, I just started doing theater because I didn't know what else to do. And so they don't do minors at Yale. You have to double. So if you want to do 2.
Wow, okay.
You got to do a double. And so I was like, well.
Like, you made it here. You got to do both.
Yep. And so I was like, I guess we're doubling. And thank goodness, because screenwriting absolutely was the highlight of my undergrad. Yes, for sure. It saved me. Oh my gosh. I didn't think I was good at writing because I kept getting B's on all my essays in high school. I like could not break the B plus barrier. Like, sometimes I get an 88, like 87 to 89% every single freaking essay. And I was like, and everyone else is getting A's like all the time. So I was like, I guess I'm just like not good at this. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Whatever. I guess I'm not good at writing. And then screenwriting, I was like creating story, creating character, dialogue, stuff that I'd been doing for like a decade at that point because I've been reading scripts for like my whole life. And so I was like, oh, I get to just like build the character and like build the surrounding and then like create this. And I was like, oh, it's easy. And then like, you know, they would say this, and this. And I did get some commentary about how like my dialogue was very natural. And I'm like, well, I'd hope so. After a decade of freaking acting and looking at scripts, I hope I can write decent dialogue.
Right.
But yeah, it just kind of was a comfort place to kind of build your own world and read other people's worlds that they built, and it was cool. Looking back, I do wish I had done econ and film because I took a couple econ classes, but then I stopped because I got dissuaded by like one teacher that was boring, and then everyone afterwards was like, no, he's like boring, but then like the classes get fun again. And I was like, why didn't somebody tell me this? So yeah, looking back, I think econ and film would have been a fun balance between like quantitative and creative, but that's okay.
But you're still, the beauty is you don't need the school to do it.
No, I could do it. You
after.
can find everything online anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
So.
At this day and age, a lot of people don't even go to college anymore, and then they're doing everything.
I don't think you need to, unless you want to network for a specific, which honestly, I feel like that's the point of like Ivy League or not anyway. It's just the networking.
No,
like,
really. Like, I think back and I'm like, well, I went to college. I went to San Diego State for film, but
yay, amazing.
I will say the one thing I got out of it was that one girl I went to college with, she ended up being an AD on union shows, and she's the reason I got into the union. So that one person
there you go
is what paid for my tuition, sort of.
Kind of, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so, you voiced Toph when you were younger, and then you went to school for screenwriting and acting and everything. After you voiced Toph and did all of that, was the show super successful? Did you gain a lot of success right after, or did that follow later on?
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, maybe people knew who we were and like there was popularity being talked about, but like I had no idea. I knew that some people liked it. There was one kid in my high school who got really excited when he found out whenever I first like went to school there. I think I ended up signing a headshot and giving it to him because he was just so excited. I was like, do you want me to like sign something? I have like a headshot. And he was like, could I? And so then he put it in his locker. It was very sweet. It's very sweet. But
it was actually like, me. No.
Wow, you look so different. It's crazy from being like a short little curly haired. Yeah. And so I don't know. That was like one instance in high school. There were maybe like 2 people in college.
Yeah.
But I think just nobody said anything if they did think it was cool and I just had no idea, or it just wasn't really talked about as much.
Because social media wasn't a big thing yet.
No.
You know what's crazy? When the show was back on Netflix during COVID, I didn't realize how many people loved it as much as I did.
Right.
Like I didn't know.
Exactly.
Because I just thought it was a really great show growing up, but I was also young. I was like, I think we're like the same age.
Yes.
And then when it was put back on Netflix and I rewatched it, I was like, wow. And then my entire internet
feed just
flooded.
Crazy.
And I'm texting my friends. I'm like, did you rewatch? Did you see that Avatar's back? Did you see the live actions coming out? I was like freaking out again. Yes. I was like, this is so good.
I think everyone just realized that the television that everyone probably had watched as a kid everyone else had also watched. And so it was kind of this like,
What a concept.
we all watched this together. We just
Yes.
did not really talk about it. Because also like marketing at the time too, it was so focused on SpongeBob and like Victorious and like live action stuff. And so I feel like it just wasn't pushed as much.
It
And
was,
so-
but it wasn't. I feel like it was, but we didn't know that everyone else felt the same way.
Maybe.
It was
Yeah.
so interesting.
Maybe. I don't
So with the show coming back on during COVID, is that when
Yes.
this big push happened again?
Yeah.
Why don't you
Yep.
tell me about that? How did that happen?
Well, COVID was a weird time that still feels fake, and it still feels like we're all recovering from it while also dealing with the other crap that's being thrown our way.
It's almost 2026, which is insane.
I don't even know how we got here. Yeah, so COVID was crazy just because different era. I was living in New York at the time, and so that was crazy watching Manhattan just completely shut down, and everyone was like going to the bodega to get a bacon, egg, and cheese in like a hazmat suit. It was this special time. The streets were empty. It was wild. So that was kind of crazy. And then I was quarantining with an ex of mine's like family in Virginia, just like different era in life. And they put Avatar on Netflix. All of a sudden there were these like Twitch streams where we would like watch an episode together and like raise money, and like Dante would be like take shots if people donated a certain amount. It was like so funny. And so
Wow.
it was so cute because we just thought, oh, this is a fun little like COVID thing that people are just stuck at home, so they're rewatching Avatar, and now we can do all these fun little live streams and whatever. And then the world started opening back up in 2021, and I had only been to like 3 or 4 conventions, like Comic-Con things, before COVID happened. And then in 2021, all of a sudden, I was invited to like 6 or 7. It was like, hey, this place wants you. Hey, this place. Hey, this place. And I was like, what is this? Like, what are we, what are we doing here? And I remember going out. It's funny. Of course, Texas was one of the first states that just started having events for hundreds of people in the same place. Because
Checks out.
They were like, yeah, we're far enough out of this. This is fine. Masks not required. And it was crazy. So that was, I think, was it Lubbock, Texas? Yeah, I think there was a little show, in Lubbock, Texas, was the first one back with me and Greg Baldwin, who is the voice of Uncle Iroh 2.0.
Oh.
R.I.P. Mako, love him.
Oh.
And we went, and it was so busy. And we were just slammed. I didn't eat lunch. Like, for all the days, I got there at like 10 or 11 and just kept like doing meet and greets until like 7 p.m. And then I was just like exhausted. And then our panel room was just full. And we were like, what is going on right now? We were like, what is happening? And since then I keep being like, this next year it'll
slow down.
It'll slow down. But then this year was the 20th anniversary, and it just like ramped up again.
You're at a con every weekend. I
And
watch
I've
your
said
stories
no.
and I'm like,
I've said no to some. Like, this isn't me saying yes to everything. This is with no's. But this year definitely was the biggest for, I guess like the caliber of show, because since it was 20th anniversary, San Diego did something, New York did something, Salt Lake City did something, and then Orlando. So MegaCon, FanX, Salt Lake, and then San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con all had like an Avatar themed thing.
Wow.
San Diego, New York specifically.
yeah, San Diego's huge. I used to go to that one all the time.
Crazy. And that was my first press day. This year, San Diego, Friday was like a press day.
What is a press day exactly?
I don't know if it's like this everywhere else. I don't know. But for this year at San Diego, we woke up. Oh gosh, we had glam for like an hour and a half or 2 hours in the morning, which was great. Oh my gosh, so
You're like,
nice.
do my hair.
I was like, please get me ready for the day. Setting spray. Like 6 a.m. I think was our call, and we had our first interviews at like 9. And we just went over to a hotel and would just room hop from like 9 a.m. until like 4:30 in the afternoon. We would go do like 10-minute interview, go to another room, 10-minute interview, 15-minute interview, and just room hop. Take photos here and video things here, whatever. For, 8 hours, 7 hours.
Wow.
And took like a 30-minute lunch in the middle.
Oh, you took lunch this time?
Yeah.
Oh my God, great
we
job.
ate lunch this time. And it was so fun. I like press. I'm sure I would get sick of it if I had to do it all the time, of course. But talking about a thing that you like and talking about a project that like is good, I
You're
feel
passionate about.
Yeah, I feel like helps make the press easier. Press would be very difficult if it's for a project that you like don't actually like that much, or you don't think is that well done.
Project is great.
You're like, oh, it was so fun.
Everyone was nice.
Such a great story. Yeah, like that would get tough. But like Avatar, I could yap forever. There's so much depth. There's so many things to talk about in the show itself.
Yeah.
I could yap forever. So I was like, this was great. I could do so much. Let's keep going. It's like, let's do it. But that was my first press day where it was like full on, just so many in a row. press junket, I think is.
Were you already growing your social media then, or did your social media grow because of this resurgence of Avatar for sure.
I was in New York auditioning for Broadway, off Broadway, trying to do musical theater. I was in dance classes. I was going open calls every morning. So I was working 3 jobs. It was a lot. It was a lot. So I was posting semi-constantly, but I was not really focused on social media at all. And then COVID happened. I probably started later than I should have. I definitely should have started TikTok in 2020, for real. I know, heartbreaking, but
it's
here we are.
You're doing it now. That's all that matters.
Is it all that matters? I don't think. It's so different. It's fine.
There's new social medias emerging. We'll get you on those.
It's fine. But yeah, so that was the first year that I was like, oh, I should probably, pay attention to this. I think I got I don't know, maybe 20,000, 30,000. That year hit that mark in 2020, 2021. And in 2023... yeah, I think I was sitting somewhere around 60 or 70,000.
And this is on Instagram, right?
Yeah. And at the end of that year, I was like, okay, I'm just going to try to get to 100K. And because I just watched the industry start to shift so much and people really care more about the following. But also it's just a way to differentiate because there's so many people trying to just do everything now. Creatively. And I mean, there've always been a lot of people, but now there's just so many people who want to act, who want to write, who want to sing, who want to do it. It's just so much. So a way to differentiate is, oh, look, I already have an audience.
Boom.
I already have a little bit of an audience. And I was like, it's a bummer that's it, but it's it.
But then you have creative freedom, though, to do whatever you want on the internet. I think that's
exactly
the difference here.
Yes, that is the nice part. So yeah, 2023, I was like, okay, let's just try to get to 100K. Cool. And just push. And so then this year, during San Diego Comic-Con weekend, I believe, is when I finally hit my 200K.
Ooh,
and I think we're almost at 220 now, which is a couple months later,
amazing.
Which is great. So I'm trying to find the balance of posting authentically while also posting stuff that's
what the fans want.
what the fans want versus hey, these are also my other talents. And then, where am I going? Because it's a tool. I mean, the goal isn't fame. Fame isn't, you can't do anything with that. It's just a tool for you to either get in contact with artists you want to work with or have access to funding from a big network. Fame itself is not really a destination. You can't really do much with it unless you want to use it for something. I like where I'm at now, but I'd like to keep going and keep making cool creative decisions. I love music. I love musical theater. I love film. I like writing. So I don't really know.
I know. I see that your social media is very impressive, by the way, because you post a lot.
There's a lot.
And you travel a lot and you work a lot. I'm curious, do you ever get burnt out from doing that? Because I know how much time and energy that takes.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm burnt out right now.
Well, thanks for being here.
No. I'm happy to be here. But I think it was just a decision I made, especially this year. I kind of saw the schedule, January of this year. I looked at the rest of 2025 and I was like, okay. It was just this year, we're going to do it. We're going to show up. We're going to have our moments in between. Maybe we cry. Maybe we have to go take a second in a room, whatever. And then we're going to go and be professional and be happy and have a great time because I asked for this.
Yeah.
Many years ago, I was like, man, I want to be a successful creative. I want to be booked and busy. And now we're booked and busy. So we're going to be grateful for that. You can still be tired. You can have your off days, of course.
You can cry.
Abso-freaking-lutely. But yeah, you just accept the booked and busy because this is a little moment in time that I will definitely look back on.
Yep.
Even if I go on to do, I don't know how you're going to get better than Avatar because Avatar is really great. But whatever I move on to do in the future, in a different medium, whatever, I could be accepting an Oscar, but still be whoa. 2025 was so cool. There were just so many cool moments just being in a room with 5,000 people who just adore the show that was made. And we all appreciate all of these little nuances. And I don't know, it's a cool moment. So I'm absolutely exhausted, but happy and grateful.
You also never know. You never know when it's going to end. You never know when your last time is going to be because it'll sneak up on you.
Yeah.
But with the content you're making, since you do such a variety, you do your hotel yaps.
I do.
Your little, what is the Michaela on the road, on the go? What
Michaela on the move. I'm a sucker for alliteration. I'm sorry, guys.
I love it. But and then you do, some Avatar posts and you have a really good variety. But what is the motivation behind some of these social media posts?
I stopped thinking about it too much because I feel like I saw everybody else. I don't know. Everybody else kind of has their own vibe, their own brand, whatever. And I was like, what's mine? And I was like, I don't know. I'm going to stop trying to think about what my brand is, though, and just start doing stuff. I don't know. And so when you travel a lot, which if you travel a lot by yourself, you're familiar, you're often back in a hotel room by yourself at the end of a day. And maybe you film something, maybe you talk to hundreds of people, whatever. And then you're like alone. And you're just like,
yes.
And here I am alone in this room in the middle of Nebraska, and you just like there's nothing there. And so a lot of people like to watch something or listen to music, but I feel like I absorb a lot of the energy from whatever I've done throughout the day. So every person I talk to, I feel like I absorbed a little bit of them, and I need to go release it out. And so then I was like, I need somebody to talk to, but like I'm not just gonna keep calling my mom and my friends and saying the same stuff over and over again. And so I was like, okay, well, let's just yap at the camera. And so hotel room yap, because I'm always in a hotel room, and that's yapping. Where I yap. So, and it's just stuff that's on my mind, because I feel like I don't put on like a fake version of me, but I definitely put on the like family friendly, avatar themed, happy to see you version. Like, I'll be honest, if people come up and they're like, how are you? I'll be like, tired. How are you? Like, I'll be real, but also I want to make sure that they have a good time. So if somebody was really rude, or a boy was stupid, or my grandparents, whatever, XYZ, like I'm not going to bring that to the table, but like it's on my mind. And so then when I get back to the hotel room and be like, I just like did the whole day and it was great, but like this was on my mind all day and it makes me so upset, and like what the heck is this, and like why aren't people more forgiving, and why are people not communicative, and whatever. And so then just the things that like frustrate me then kind of can come out later.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's kind of therapeutic for me, honestly.
You built your own therapy.
I built my own
self-therapy.
Therapy. My therapist also exists. She's also a real person who does help, but I also, kind of created my own version of therapy. And then like the singing on the step stuff, I like sing on these stairs with a friend of mine. When I sing, it is active therapy too. Like when I feel lighter, I feel like I've released tension. It brings me meaning of life.
Yes.
So,
I can so relate. It's like being creative is what makes you happy. Same with me. Like I tell my team that every Thursday we have no meetings, because that is my day to be creative.
Yes.
Make any videos, write scripts, do whatever I want.
You want.
Whatever I want. It's my day, because without it, then I don't feel like I'm doing myself justice, or doing, living out my purpose in life.
Which I definitely feel like I haven't fully been living my full purpose. I've definitely been more in service of fandom for the past few years. I mean, nobody's forcing me to, and it's not like I hate it. Like I enjoy it.
Forcing you to.
I'm like, okay. I enjoy it, and maybe I'm overdoing it. Maybe I don't need to do it as much. I don't know, but I kind of felt a sense of like gratitude, and being like, I kind of owe this a little bit. Like this show has changed my life exponentially, and clearly it's impacted others. And so the literal least I can do is try to give a lot of my attention and energy back to just show that gratitude, and be like, this was so cool. Let's sit and talk about it. You came and waited in line for an hour to come get your DVD set signed. We're going to talk about it. Like, because that's like you said, it's going to shift. Things will change. Time will move on. But right now we're focused on this really cool thing that I got to be in, and I got to be a part of. And I feel kind of a responsibility to kind of give, I don't know, in real life, like you see a thing on screen, and then you have a moment where you get to have something in person and like a tangible experience.
That's so cool.
So it's like, that's my responsibility. That's how I feel. And so that's always why I'm like, okay, the people who are in like Twilight and Harry Potter and stuff, who like are like sassy, I'm like, guys, it's like the reason you're good. That's the reason you're fiscally like okay, is because of this project. Because you have such a big fan base that loved you and supported you. Like, there's a line. You don't just go overboard and just completely drain yourself. But like, I feel like there needs to be little moments of just like, hey, this put me on the map, and people were so freaking into it. I appreciate you, because now I get to do all this other stuff because of you. And that's absolutely, without question, I would not be able to do any of the things that I'm doing right now without people loving Avatar. How did you get there, though? Because I feel like a lot of people would have gotten to that conclusion. That's such like an amazing thing, of you being like, this show gave me my life, and I'm going to,
meet all the fans that literally, you know,
Yeah.
are in love with the show. Like, how did you get there?
I don't know. Growing up poor, I don't know.
Not with your private jet to Paris for the weekend?
Yeah. And so then literally seeing, you know, just my life shifting from being so paycheck to paycheck. And I started to have a little bit of savings in 2019 before COVID. Like I just, you know, working my 3 jobs and running around like a crazy person. I was like, okay, I'm going to save like $50. Okay, I'm saving $100. Like I just little bits at a time. And finally I had a point where I was like, I think I had like $7,000 or $8,000 like saved, and I could like go on a girl's trip for her birthday, and I was like, ooh, I'm like doing the thing, yay. But then going from that to like, oh, I could pay my rent for this whole year now and not work, as long as I'm not crazy and have all these shopping sprees or whatever, but like, and not work, and then like focus on creating something. That shift is crazy. And
Wow.
such a different mentality from before, where you're like, oh, I have to wake up every day and like try to make something happen, versus like, hey, now you get to change a little. And you should. If you're going to grow, you have to. That's the hardest
Right.
part. You can't stay in the same mindset of like survival mode. Otherwise, you're going to just keep inhibiting your creativity. It's such
Yes.
a tough balance.
You have to adapt
Yes.
and grow.
And so that shift of like, oh, I could literally pay for the whole year right now, and then focus on just being a creative. That was like a whoa.
That's
And
so lucky.
that feeling was like, oh, I owe you. Like I owe you so much thanks and gratitude, because I get to breathe for the first time. I wanted to work when I was 5. There's a reason for that. I saw my mom freaking busting her ass constantly, and like things are expensive, things are hard, and your car breaks down and something breaks, and I watched it just take such a toll. And then all of a sudden I got that feeling of I get to just breathe for a second after 28 years. And I think, yeah, I don't know. I just think that that's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
I'm sure I would have gotten there some way, because I like to hustle. So I was going to make it happen at some point. But having other people be so supportive of something that I did, and they're the reason why I got there, in my opinion, so young. We're still very
We're
young.
so
we have
young.
so much time left.
I love thinking about that. I'm like, man,
yeah.
we've both done so many awesome things, and we're
We're
so,
so
young.
I mean, the 17-year-olds, okay, I get it. You're like, oh, no, you're not. Yes, we are. You'll get here. You'll see.
I'm 32. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Yeah, so yeah, we are so young. I
There's
feel like
so much time.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I just woke up. Like I was like,
A little bit.
ooh, all
Yeah.
right, we're starting season like 10, I guess.
Or,
I don't
yeah.
know what season we're
I don't know
on,
what
but
season. Lots of seasons.
It's one of those shows that's gonna have a lot of seasons.
So many eras. The last 3 years alone have been like 5 seasons.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but like for me,
Crazy.
like COVID times were definitely weird, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a test of like, all right, how creative can you be? Do you actually want what you want
Do you
hard
want it?
enough? Do you want
That-
it? Because I did. And like I started my Sasha character during COVID, and it
you
completely
go.
changed my life to the point where like I literally have a podcast now.
There you
What?
go. That's so funny. So yeah, I think just combination of income, how I was raised, where I came from. I think just acknowledging how much effort just living takes. And so anytime somebody chooses to spend their time and money on me in any way, huge. Because I know, especially if you are tight, like that means that you're spending your money and time on something you really care about, and that is not lost on me. So yeah, I think it just that's why it hit so hard, and
Yeah.
why I can be so grateful.
No, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so with your, rise of social media fame because of the show, have you had negative experiences with social media, hate comments? Has anything like really irked
sure.
you?
For sure. 2020 and 2021, I was not great at navigating the hate comments, for sure. I would definitely like comment back or try to like, if they DM'd something mean, I'd be like, oh, I have to make them understand. Like I unfortunately engaged when I now know better. It's a little bit tough. I think again, I feel very lucky. It helps having lots of people who I know do like me for things. And so it's like, okay, we're gonna listen to those voices and not so much the other voices. I think Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not great at navigating it, honestly. There can be so much support, and then there will be like one comment that totally like
derails you.
Yeah, and it just makes my insides go like, ugh, like, man, maybe they're right, or like, maybe like, you know, just some people, especially with the singing stuff. I'm so sensitive about singing because I'm used to hearing my own voice. I'm fine. My voice acting, my acting, fine. How I look, fine. Singing, I don't know why. I think it's because I care about it the most. I still am not super, super confident in my sound or just like how I perform. I don't know. And so anytime somebody is just like, let's be honest, like this one isn't great or something, like just because some of the covers I do, and not everything is for everybody. Of course, there's like different kinds of songs, but I'm like, yeah, maybe everyone's just lying and I shouldn't be doing this because you can't tell. Like, it's really hard to self-perceive yourself as like a performer.
It really is.
And I just I think like one of my worst nightmares, privileged worst nightmare, to be fair, is like just being the performer that isn't great, but everyone's like, yay, that was awesome. But it was like terrible.
Oh.
Worse. Just please don't let me be bad. Tell me I'm bad. Get me off the stage.
Give me the real authentic answer.
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
If it's bad, please don't make me. Yeah. So that's I think one of my nightmares, just because I do love it so much.
How long have you been singing?
Since before I could talk. She started humming along to things way before the words started. So 3, 4,
wow.
I was humming along. And then one of my first singing things was Phantom of the Opera on cassette tape.
At 3?
That's right. I mean, 5, 6.
Oh, sorry.
But like Christine's part, and you know, she's like, he's there, the Phantom of the Opera. And then she does the whole like, that whole thing. That was bad. Don't use that. But don't use that as a metric. But that whole stuff, I would just like run around my living room, like singing her high notes, just like being absurd, wearing my cat ears in my tail, because I used to wear cat ears in a tail.
I love it.
I think I was some versions of acoustic right there. That will probably tell you. But yeah.
We have the most opposite voices you could probably have under the sun, which is always so fun to me because this is just like my natural raspy voice.
Which is crazy because you could have totally been like May in Avatar.
I've always wanted to get into voice acting.
You like are her. I feel like you and Cricket have a very similar voice. You are.
What's a line she says?
You miscalculated. You should have. No. Oh, well, what is it?
You miscalculated.
It's like, I think it's I love Zuko more than I fear you. That's what it is. You miscalculated.
I love Zuko more than I fear you. Yep.
There it is.
When I was looking into voice acting, one of my friends was like, you should start by finding characters that have similar voices to you, like Raven from Teen Titans, and like monotone, raspy voices.
You have the rasp. It's so many people want you.
Really?
Like, yes.
You got to help me get into voice acting. I'm serious. I've been wanting to.
Because especially for video game stuff and like combat stuff, like anime combat things, they I swear it's all of the descriptions. They're like, this is like a tough combative role. We want texture and rasp. And I'm like, okay, like this is not
Give me
for
your
me.
lunch money.
Literally. Well, that's the cool thing about like voice stuff is as you age too, like you will grow into like these different sound banks that like you can access. So like when I'm 50, I maybe will be able to start doing stuff that's like more tough and like has texture and stuff, because right now I try and I'm like, yeah, it's like that's as much texture as I can get. Yeah, it's interesting, but there's so many people that would totally love your voice.
So what do you need to be a voice actor? How does the process work?
That is a great question. In this day and age, it's kind of crazy because there's no right way. There's so many different avenues, and even networks are like not the only ones in charge of content anymore. Like now we have full-on YouTube shows that are starting before they get picked up by Amazon or something, like Has Been Hotel, and like all that stuff starts with like a YouTube community. So there's no right way, first of all. I do say to most people to take vocal lessons just to learn about breath support, diaphragm.
I've been wanting to, actually.
Yeah, because if you end up going into a studio for 8 hours and just like talking, screaming, yelling, you need to protect your voice.
I don't talk with this. I talk with my throat still. And I used to have to go to voice therapy because I have such a raspy voice. It was starting to really irritate me.
That's great.
But voice therapy was... that was an experience. They made me cry a lot. Imagine someone telling you that you need to change everything you do in your entire life and because of the way you talk. And I was like, no. But I somehow did the exercises on my own, stopped going to that. But I like to do one new skill every single year. I like to try one new skill.
Ooh,
and
that's
so
good. I'm proud of you for picking one because I'm like, I'm going to do 17 things this year.
I try to do 17 things too, but then if you focus on just one, it's actually really fun. But one of them has been vocal lessons, not just to sing, but just to like learn to talk.
I feel like everyone should take voice lessons because when I say that to people, they're like, oh, I don't sing. I'm like, no, it will help you like in life. It'll help you communicate. It'll help you just with improv. It'll help you like in tired days and tired moments. You'll be able to articulate more. You'll just be used to your own instrument and you'll just know about it. Like it's just helpful. So vocal lessons, yes, fully support this.
All right, well, 2026 is coming up, so you just help me figure out what I'm going to do next year.
Microphone stuff, you probably have some experience with already. So just like, even if you wanted to take one brush up course, but just kind of
yes,
all that stuff comes, out so you can learn how to soften your P's a little so that you're not huffing into the microphone during an audition. Just little things. Munching on a green apple will help get rid of the sounds in your mouth. Ideally be vegan if you can. I'm not, and I love cheese and I love ice cream, but in the last couple months specifically, age does change things and I'm much more sensitive now. And so I think I have to cut out dairy because phlegm in your throat.
And that causes problems with speaking?
Just frogs in my throat. There's constant phlegm.
I have the nice vocal fry sometimes. If I've been talking too much, I get vocal fry.
So that works for you. See, your voice is going to be so different from how I take care of mine. See, and that's why I want everyone to take lessons for their own thing because it's going to be so different. What I have to do to take care of my voice and my throat is going to be probably astronomically different from how you take care of your throat and your voice.
100%. The one thing I do have, though, when I went to voice therapy is they gave me the little nebulizer. And they're like, you basically have the same issue as a singer. You just don't sing because I talk all day for work and I'm on meetings and acting and da-da-da-da.
Yeah. I just got maybe it's happened before and I just didn't check it. But this year specifically, after San Diego Comic-Con, I went to a friend's bachelorette weekend and my voice was already tired and then my voice was really I lost it for like 3 weeks. It was bad and it came back but it never really came back and I was like something's wrong. Something's wrong. Oh, no. And it's never happened before and it was little but I was like something's wrong. I just know how I feel. I know how things sound. Something's off. And so I went to vocal therapy. She that office helps Miley Cyrus and the Lumineers and all the people. And I was like, take me to the fancy people. I need to go immediately. And I was like, something's wrong. I just don't know how bad it is. And she put like her little camera down here and looked at things and they were indeed inflamed, like a 3 out of 10 inflamed. Not crazy, but like they were a little mad. And I was like, okay, so glad I'm not crazy. But then I went to a couple vocal therapy sessions with some straw, like breathing, warming up.
With the blowing the bubbles and stuff?
Yes, that's the bubbles. And so, and now I have like a cup in my shower. Literally just the past few weeks. I went to this appointment like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And so now I have this cup in my shower with the straw and I travel with straws.
Yep.
And I'm thinking of pulling like an Ariana Grande and like talking more like this, but that might be crazy because people are going to be like, why do you talk like that? And I'm like, well, this is just who I am now because anytime I talk down here, I'm using my throat more.
Yep.
And if I talk like this for 18 hours, it's going to be more tired than if I just speak up here. And that's why she talks like this. She's spoken about it before. You hear her register changes. Sometimes it sneaks out. But up here, it's more support. It's not whispering. It's just not as straining on this.
Were you scared that you were going to like lose your voice permanently?
If I kept it up for like a long time, like if I didn't stop and take a rest, I was like, ooh, it could get to that point. I don't think I was close to that, but I took a 3-day vocal rest, which I've never done in my life. No words, no humming, no singing along, 3 days in a row. Nothing. Not to my mom, not a response to a friend. Silence. It's crazy. It was very difficult. But then it was very peaceful.
Wow. And how did you feel during that time?
Honestly, I think just because this year's been so crazy, I felt so calm. It felt so nice. I was like, I was home and didn't have anything to do. I didn't have auditions or like recordings. So I just cleaned and organized things. I wasn't online. I didn't go on my phone very much. And I just listened to music and was silent and cleaned things and hung out with my dog. And it was so peaceful. And I really liked it. And then I had work again. And like Tuesday, it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then Tuesday is like, it started back full force. I had like 3 auditions due and like 4 cameos and whatever. And that night before, like, I'm pretty sure my cortisol levels just like shot through the roof and my whole body just went, ugh. It's like, I have work again. I have to speak. It's like, can I just keep being quiet? Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm fully on board for your 2026 voice
excited.
acting vocal era. You should absolutely do it.
Maybe we'll be doing some voice characters together.
Let's do it.
Okay, wait. So what are some of your favorite voices you like to do?
Anything squeaky and upbeat
Okay.
is just so fun. I call it my squirrel in a tree. Like anything up here is just super exciting, and like she just is really excited for the acorns to come in spring. Like, you know, just anything up there is fun. I don't know if that's like a random Disney squirrel or something.
I'm trying to picture what character it is in my head right now.
It's very similar to my Chaka voice. Oh yeah, well that's not as impressive as my loose tooth. See. From Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
So that they live in a similar world for sure. So I like them. I do like accents. I've been working on like my RP accent. So when I just switch over, it's very funny because RP is received pronunciation. So it's like the formal version of an English accent. So there's not really a region that actually holds RP. So if you're from Essex, if you're from London, whatever, you have all these effects on your voice, and that's kind of more natural, more casual. But RP is what you hear Emma Watson, Benedict Cumberbatch, all these kind of proper posh sounding people.
They're the movie accents.
They're the movie accents. And so there's not one place in England that is RP. You have to like learn it. It has to be specifically learnt. Wow. So I've been working on it, but it's very weird because anytime I do it, my voice gets lower. And like when I speak in the accent, it's lower. And I'm like, why all of a sudden am I becoming an alto?
I got a little nervous when you were talking like that. I was like, oh my God, hi.
Sometimes it's just fun to go out and I'm just like, oh, I'm Victoria. Like, who are you? Like, I grew up in Essex. Like, it's so nice to meet you. Like, it's just fun. I don't know. I like it.
Can you do a Russian accent?
Not well. I tried for a second. It just,
you want vodka? You don't want vodka from me, a rich husband?
You're good at the Russian accent.
That's why I was like, I could really do this voice acting.
Especially with the texture. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
See,
I think that's why it's so believable, because it's like,
that's why.
I'm looking for a rich husband.
That's
you want
why.
the vodka?
Because when I do it, like, I'm looking for a rich husband, it's too clean. Like the vodka's too clean. I need more texture. No, it's not good. That's not good. The texture's better.
I was mimicking your version of it, which was like, what am I doing?
But it worked. I mean, I feel like, yeah, the Russian, see, it's so specific. I feel like the texture really works for that. If anything like Irish, Icelandic, Russian, I feel like texture.
Irish is hard. You have to like pull back. Really it's like difficult. Irish. I tried because I'm Irish.
Me
and
too.
I'm like, yeah.
And so I should have it. But yeah, like there's weird things with the R's that like are kind of rounded more, but it's like it's not perfect. I don't know like the exact placement in my mouth. It's very weird. And all of a sudden I'm Australian and I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
On the bobby.
I don't know what's going on.
No.
Yeah. But the Southern's easy because I'm from the Midwest. So anytime I just go back home, like people just talk like this and that's no problem.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants somebody from the Midwest, she's right here.
Do you ever get tired of people asking you to do different voices and different accents?
Honestly, people don't ask that often.
Oh, really?
Usually people just ask for Toph lines.
I'm over here like, give me every accent you know.
Yeah, they're not that good. My English and my Southern are good, and everything else is not that good. And then, yeah, no, and usually people just ask for Toph lines. They don't even ask for like other voices. They just are like, say a Toph line. And I'm just like, I am not Toph. I am Melon Lord. Like, just pull out the Melon Lord, pull out the Twinkle Toes. Like, that's it. And then...
Twinkle Toes.
And we go. Yeah.
What other voices did you voice on other shows?
So yes, Chaka in Kronk's New Groove and Emperor's New School. We love her. She's so freaking fun. Young Franny in Meet the Robinsons is my favorite. I love Avatar. I love Toph. Don't get me wrong, but that girl, Franny in Meet the Robinsons, and I are just like, she loves science. She loves music. She likes fashion. She's sassy. She's just like super energetic. And I was like, is this me? That's like she is I am her. And I just love the movie, and the message of that movie is really great. It's just keep moving forward. And my mom has always been a fan of like focus on the positive and where you want to go and what you want to feel like. And so the keep moving forward was just a big theme in our household.
I love that.
Anyway, so those are my main girls for sure. I voiced this angel named Nase in an anime called Platinum End. It's from the creators of Death Note. And just one season. That was my first anime I ever did. It was very cute. And then this little girl named An in Mono, which is another little like slice of life anime on Crunchyroll. It's very cute. So a couple little anime girls, and then Aiko's like a little bridge troll in World of Final Fantasy. Those little video game cameo. Just a couple little cute things, but it's really like I did a lot of background stuff.
Okay.
I did a ton of looping and ADR and background voices. So most of my resume is that stuff, which is tricky because like the characters. I'm trying to think of like my little headshot that has all my characters on there. Probably like 15-ish that like have a face and a name, and then all the rest of my work was all background stuff. And so it looks like, you know, on paper in a sense, it's like, oh, like you only booked these things over the course of like 7-8 years of work. And it's like, no, like there was so much in a booth with 10 other people, and we were all just kids on a playground or kids at school or on a bus or like filling in a baby crying or a teenager crying or whatever. One of my favorite jobs was Justin Bieber's movie Never Say Never.
Okay.
They had to dub in all of the concert screaming and like the chanting of the lyrics because like just audio. And so me and like 10 other girls had to stand in a studio all day and just like scream these lyrics and like sob and like be excited at like all the concerts. It's really funny because there were a couple girls in the movie that like were backstage talking to Justin, and they were like, okay, we have to dub in their sentence because they weren't mic'd, we didn't get it. And so we were like sitting there like reading these girls' lips, being like, what did they say? I think she said like, oh my gosh, and then is she sobbing or is she saying a word? What is she doing? Anyway, so there was like one line where a girl's backstage, she might have been like a VIP meet and greet thing, whatever, and she's just like, oh my god, like I'm just so excited to be here or something. And so like I got to like dub that line for the sobbing girl backstage. It's just like ridiculous stuff that you don't even.
That should be like the main thing on your resume.
Never say never, sobbing girl backstage. Yeah. So that was really fun.
Okay.
It's funny because Allison Stoner, if you guys are familiar, she is a super talented dancer, singer, actor, but she did a lot of looping too. So I was in a ton of loop groups with her, and then it's fun because I've got to see her like go off and do her stuff, and she was in Camp Rock and like stuff like that. But like we would just be in loop groups together.
Loop groups.
Yeah, that was fun. So.
Okay, so you've done a lot of voice acting, but you've talked about singing and music a lot.
Yes.
Is that your true passion? Is that what you really want to do?
I don't know, Alex. I love everything. And I think up until now, I was so survival mode-y that I was like, oh, I like these things, but I just kept pushing so hard because I just needed to like pay rent and be good. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, okay, what do I like the most?
What are you passionate about?
What am I actually passionate about? What do I want to spend my time on? Something music related for sure. I don't know if it's musical theater. I don't know if it's just music. I don't know if it's writing, like lyrics. I have so many. The Notes app is so full. So full.
Don't even get me started on that.
Oh my gosh. The voice memos in the Notes app, it was so chock full. But something, I mean, I just have always loved music. I love dance. I love singing. I like something, just listening to music constantly. I can be in silence. I don't mind silence, but I love listening to music. And I think it's crazy. You know, when I go back, speaking of my grandparents from a little bit earlier, I go back to visit them, they don't really listen to music, like ever. Like we'll drive somewhere and it's just quiet, but not, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I'm like, do you want to like put on the radio? Like they just never put on the radio. I get sometimes you just like don't want to listen to something, but like there's never music. There's never music in the house. There's never music in the car. And it's such like unless it's Christmas time and then it's Christmas CDs and that's it. And so it was such a thing I noticed, I guess in the past, like, I don't know, 5 years or so where I was like, whoa, I like really am so locked into it. I just thought everybody loved music, but that's not true.
I mean, I love music. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But when I'm home working by myself, I have nothing on at all. But that's because I'm always either giving notes on video edits, I'm on meetings, or it's some goddamn peace and fucking quiet. Because my brain is like 30 voices talking to me at all times.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, if anyone, you get it.
I understand.
But it's interesting you say it because like I love music, but I forget to put it on until I have friends over or something.
Okay, yeah. But so it's more of like a social or like event-based thing.
But my version of music is I like having reruns of TV shows on in the background while I'm working.
Interesting.
That's my type of music. I like having something, and I think it's because I love working in film and videos and movies and stuff that I need like the creative. I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting.
No, everybody's like so different. I think the biggest growth point of like you said this year, it felt like you were kind of waking up, is that I like the things that I like, and that's very much specific to me. I assumed I assumed everyone, like, secretly, like, deep down, even if they didn't admit it, wanted to be an actor and wanted to be center stage and wanted to be a star and wanted to be, like, the lead of a band and, like, the lead of a musical. And it's very much not true. Like, people legitimately would think that's a nightmare. And I'm like, really? So I feel like I'm just finally accepting that, like, the things that I like are actually not universal. And they are things that I like and probably should pursue because I like them.
And not everyone wants the same thing.
And not everybody wants the same thing. Yeah, I just assumed everybody wanted the same things.
I realized this a couple of years ago when I would go do man on the street interviews. And I'd go up to people and be like, you want to be on camera? They're like, I'd rather jump off a cliff. And you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Got it.
And then it would happen 50 times in a row. And I was like, okay, so now everyone likes being on camera. Got it.
Yeah, I really thought this was like more of a universal experience, like a shared interest.
Yeah.
It's just not the case. So yeah, music, I've been singing a lot more this year and just have a lot of music friends. And I think there's a creative freedom in music that doesn't exist elsewhere. It's still very collaborative, but when you're on a film, when you're in a musical, you very much are relying on the director, on the scene design, on somebody else's vision. And if you are making your own music, yes, you'll probably need a producer. If you're not doing it yourself, you'll need some co-writers. You'll need, of course, but you can kind of create whatever you want. And then you can be in it. You know, you're the one fueling the world, performing in it, etc. And I think there's a freedom in that. It's a lot of work, but there's a freedom in that feels very exciting. And it feels like I should be doing it now. So my 2026 will also be with voice, but just different things. I would just like to write music and figure out what my sound is, figure out who I would be as an artist. I don't know, because all of the voices that we just talked about and did, I'm so used to being like, I'll sing this jazz thing, I'll sing this country thing, I'll sing this musical theater thing. Sure. And I'm like, who am I?
Are you ever like scared or jaded? Because music is a very tough industry, and especially with social media these days. What's your thoughts about like music and social media?
Promo. But again, I liked PR. I liked doing the press junket. So maybe it'll be fine. I think I'm okay with just accepting the game. I mean, I don't have that many followers. Like, I have so many friends who have millions and millions of followers. And that's great because they have that audience. I don't. That's okay. But if you have an audience that loves you and likes to actually consume what you're giving them, that is priceless, because there can be some people who have 10 million followers, but there's no engagement.
Yep.
And so I don't know. I'd like to think, hopefully, that there's enough engagement with people in just my world that like it won't matter. It's really a blinders on kind of thing. Because when I think about it too much, I'm like, oh gosh, going into music, crazy. But I'm not doing it to go into music. I'm going into it because I haven't released anything, but I've been writing lyrics since middle school. Not that any of those are any good, but I've been writing lyrics and singing. I don't know about that. And just singing and having like all of these music videos in reaction to like a song I hear on the radio. I just see a whole thing play out. And then I think of like a version of my lyrics turning into a song, and then like there's visual aid to what I want to make too. I don't want it to just be audio. I don't know. I think I am feeling like I'm drowning in my own words almost, because I haven't let any of them out. And so I feel like I need to do this, and I'm not paying attention to any of this, and just say what I need to say, get it out of my system, do the project, and then it'll be kind of, again, self-therapy. And then I can move on. And if it grows and if I keep wanting to do it, great. Or maybe it's like I just did that and I was like, cool, okay. I kind of want to focus on television.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I'm trying not to think ahead for once.
That's good. I mean,
once.
That's honestly, I get that. People are like, what's your 10-year, 20-year goal? I was like, honestly, I didn't know I was going to be doing...
Yep.
I didn't know TikTok was going to be around and I was going to be going viral on TikTok and making a podcast. Like, I couldn't have predicted that.
Nope.
I knew I wanted to have some sort of production company, and that's all I could see, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's the fun of life, is that like you're just going around making these choices that lead to exactly what you were looking for without realizing it.
I think the commentary I made earlier about fame being a tool.
Yep.
I just want to be able to make change or create something without hindrance. So there are some things in the world hunger, for instance, especially with SNAP benefit things in America, whatever. It would be great just to have leverage. I think Travis Barker kind of did a version of, in a sense, he like created his own like vegan restaurant, and I think they do a lot of like outreach, whatever. And then, what's his name? Jaden Smith. Yeah, started doing like a food truck thing and just now has like a permanent location of a restaurant where you don't pay if you can't, and if you can, you go in and you can just pay extra, and it helps like balance out whatever. And so there's just, you need some capital to like do that, and you need obviously usually an audience or a way to get an audience to get it out there so people know what it is. And so having those tools is great. I mean, there's so many housing things that just seem so obvious to me that I would love to just like fix or have enough of like leverage to be like, hey, can we like make a company that does this, this, and this? Like, I'm so tired of these management companies and these rental companies that just like don't care. These buildings are not well taken care of. There's just like all these little things that aren't even creative related, but I just want to like make life better. I would love to have, this is so silly, but I would love to have like a company that is in charge of managing a bunch of apartments, but they're like creative apartments. It's like paint the wall pink. And like the sinks are cute. They're not just like the stock one from IKEA. Like they're nice and fun because I want people to enjoy their life quality while they're renting this apartment. Yeah. And it's not just this crappy, and we get nice windows. So there's lots of sunshine. Like just, you know, because you look at all the options and you're like, what the heck? Why does it look like I'm in a prison? Who made this? Who made this? And so it's so unrelated to anything creative. And then on the other side of things, would love to like collaborate with Margot Robbie and like Lucky Chap on like creating a film. I loved her. Oh my gosh, I'm totally forgetting the name of it. It was like a kind of the 20s, 30s, like a crazy film that like was divisive. A lot of people didn't like
Babylon?
it. Yes, Babylon. I thought that was so fun. And she, in a couple interviews, she's like, if you enjoyed this movie, then you understand how my brain works when it comes to like making something.
And you're like, me
and I was like, cool, okay, vibes, yes, I like this. And there's just, it's revelry, it's fun, there's some serious undertones, but like there's such attention to detail and there's so much color, and that's just fun. And so like I have a couple of pilot ideas for like, I don't know. I just, we'll keep them locked in here, but they're like the creative
keep
team.
It for you, just in case.
Yes, the creative team for Queen's Gambit. I want to find them because I have an idea for them, and I think they do a really great job. So like leverage for those things would be great. So like that is the end goal. But in order to do that, I have to just be myself and like be a creative and be authentic, because then I will naturally gravitate towards other people who would like to work with me anyway. So you can't really rush that, and you can't really strategize that too much. All you can do is wake up every day and just do something that day.
Amazing.
So
well, amazing. We're my mind is blown right now, and I love it so much. You've been such an amazing guest.
Oh, thanks for having me. Yay. Clout Nine.
Woo, Clout Nine. Okay, we're coming to the end now, and we'll take our audience questions. You get one or two questions.
Audience questions.
This was so good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this is so good.
Good.
You have such an amazing heart.
Oh, thanks. You're sweet.
I can really feel that through all your answers.
Oh, thanks.
That's like a big part of what I think Alex is trying to do. So, some of my questions are...
Pick like two of your favorites. We got a little bit, just tiny bit of time.
We like to yap.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I have some hard hitters.
No, this is so amazing. We'll keep rolling another like 8. Yeah.
Okay, so one of my questions is, are you thankful that there wasn't social media present as a kid, and do you think that protected you from things that would have set you on maybe a different path in life?
Okay, that's a really good one. Okay, so say it one more time just so I can...
Yeah, are you thankful there wasn't social media present as a kid because, you know, being a voice, like kids, you were protected from not being on the screen.
Okay.
You know, and that's so...
Yep. Okay. Since social media wasn't big when, you know, you were first doing voice acting, do you think that was a positive or a negative thing?
Oh, absolutely positive. Absolutely positive. Yeah, my mom was also very strict as it was. She did not want me to see any PG movies until I was like in high school. And we didn't have cable. I think I got my first phone. It was a flip phone, an LG flip phone, when I was freshman year. Right? Yeah, yes, absolutely. And I played the heck out of that. And I think that was freshman year of high school, and that was because I was going across the country with a family for a trip, and that was the only reason why I got it. I think 2 things. I think growing up around it would have been bad for me, and I don't know if I would have booked the things I would have booked. I think I booked them because I was being myself, and I was just being a kid. And you know, when you're a kid, you kind of can't act too hard, because then you're not a kid. So fine line there. But then if it was around but I wasn't allowed to consume it, other kids and like media functioning with it, and then me not living in that world, then I would have kind of been at like a different, point, they would have been expecting different things, or other kids would have had knowledge of like certain tech, or I don't know. I think it would have complicated it for sure. And now, I mean, we'll see what happens. But I feel like people who are our age who are wanting to have kids are kind of going back to being like, no tech, no tech for the kids until they're, in high school, in middle school, whatever. And there was like a moment where the iPad kids have had their moment, and everyone's like, I do not want that to be my child. And so I'm hoping it'll kind of rebalance, because we went so tech heavy, and now we've got, a lot of Gen Z and like even Gen, whatever, is it Alpha now? Yeah. Is now like, oh, we don't want to be online. Like, we have a flip phone. I don't even have social media. And so I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay. Like, maybe we'll.
Because it's vintage and cool now.
Yeah, literally. Maybe we'll rebalance. But
we got lucky. We really did get lucky where, like,
both.
For me at least, like, my parents were on the internet very early on because they worked in tech, but I didn't have Facebook till sophomore year of high school, which is awesome, because that means my entire childhood was collecting ladybugs and eating caterpillars.
Literally,
and making videos on YouTube when I was 11.
Yes. Digging holes, swinging on swings, trampolines, bike rides at sunset.
And our makeup looked horrible because we didn't have any reference of what it was supposed to look like.
My
mom's makeup that I stole.
Oh, yes. See, I didn't even do that. I didn't even know.
I was like, Mom, look at this. And she goes, what? Why?
What are you doing?
But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of like the 18-year-olds look like our age these days because of social media, because everyone's trying to look older and like Kim Kardashian.
Younger. Well, and also for dating, I don't know. It's even not just girls though. Like, guys, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because I'll be like talking to somebody and I'll be like, oh, like this guy's like cute and like whatever. And he's 20. And I'm like,
I know.
How did I not clock that you don't look 20? Like, when I looked at myself when I was 20, I looked like I was like a baby. Like, I looked like I was like 15. And so I'm like, why do you look so much older?
Social media.
It's like, I can't talk to you anymore. You have to go away. I'm a decade older than you.
Do you have another one?
Okay, so my next question is, something that you mentioned in the beginning was like, you feel like the themes of the show were ahead of their time, and I couldn't agree more with that. I think it's just like so important. What are your favorite themes from the show that you feel like you're proud to represent as you go out in life and go and spread the lore of Avatar?
Okay. So what were some of your favorite themes from Avatar that you really resonated with?
Oh, there's so many. So my favorite characters in order are Appa, Uncle Iroh, Toph, and then Zuko. I know I'm third on my own list, but
Zuko.
I know. Okay, everyone, calm down. But Uncle Iroh is such a dynamic character. I mean, we see him when he is in kind of his healed era, but there was a moment, his Dragon of the West era, where he was probably pretty violent. He's probably killed lots of people. He's probably been what we would deem a terrible person, but he kind of went through this journey where he kind of is taking Zuko in as probably what would be his own son, since he didn't get a chance to do that. And something that I love talking about whenever I do get to hang out with Greg at a convention is that this show doesn't just tackle like death. It tackles grief and kind of the complicated just overlapping of like him grieving Zuko, like not finding his way, but like still being patient and waiting to forgive him and not using that against him, but also keeping a boundary up and like, I'm not going to stand by you if you're just going to destroy yourself. And then like just these kind of complicated layers. I think that's, I don't know, it's just so beautifully displayed, I guess, in the writing and in Greg's performance too. So that, along with, I think, friendships being bumpy, but still growing. I mean, I definitely, Toph deals with that. She's like, I carry my own weight. And Katara's like, that's not teamwork. And I'm like, what do you mean? I took care of everything that I brought and that I set up and I took down. I'm good. And she's like, no, group. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I think there's that kind of recognition of like different strengths, different personalities, but like you do need a community. Like Toph couldn't do it on her own. Aang couldn't do it on his own. Katara couldn't do it on her own. Like none of us could do what we did on our own. But it's terrifying because you have to open up and rely on people and forgive them. Zuko burns my feet, and I was the only one who trusted him when he came in, and I was like, he's telling the truth, guys, and no one was listening. And then I went and he freaking burned me, and I was like, freaking A. But then we got over it. Like, those are really important lessons to still watch as an adult, let alone a kid. So I could go on forever, but those... those things for sure.
And I think that's why that show is just so impactful to all of us, because we watched it when we were young and we were raised by a show that taught us these morals and values that are important for friendship and like family and just like being a good person. So it's crazy hearing you say it as your character, like and I'm like, oh my God, like you brought back memories that were just so amazing.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder who's really the blind one around here. Freaking not listening to me, I swear. Aang needs a firebending teacher.
Can you, before we sign off, can you give me some of your best lines?
Oh my
as
gosh,
Toph?
Of course. My favorite episode's the library, and so we have a classic, there it is. That's what it'll sound like when one of you spots it. That's a great one. And then I guess towards the end, one of her, see, this is what's funny. She's so tough, and then at the very frickin' end, she has one of the most heartfelt lines where she's like, do you really think friendships can last more than one lifetime? Like, the fact that Toph says that, and she's so tough all the time. It's like, oh, girl, you have feelings. You have so many feelings, and you just have to keep yourself together most of the time. So.
But you can feel that with her, though.
Yeah.
You can totally feel that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, she's got so many good ones. Oh, no, what a nightmare. Yeah, let's break some rules constantly. She's so many one-liners. She's so cool.
Twinkle toes.
Keep your knees high, twinkle toes. Yeah, she's good.
Oh my gosh, so amazing having you on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being a guest on Clout Nine.
I'm so happy to be here.
And where could they find you online?
Oh, yes. All the socials that we've been talking about. I'm on YouTube and Instagram at Michaela Mostly, because it's mostly me. Ha ha ha. I did that as like a funny quip, and then I had to lock it in because we had followers and the handles everywhere now. And then on TikTok, it's just Michaela Jill Murphy because the other one was already taken. So on YouTube, I do like my vlogs for when I go to conventions and travel around, the hotel room yaps, singing and stuff, and then I just do like short clips of those on TikTok and Instagram. But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Follow along for the shenanigans if you would like.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Woo! And that is a wrap on Clout Nine.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yay. That was so amazing.
Thank you.